Hey there lovelies, it's Sarah Leonard here from auraangelart.etsy.com, and this is my journal spread for this week. Quite different again from last week. I seem to be going through all these different sort of styles almost one by one. I always manage to get my pages stuck together somehow no matter what I do. But that marks how many weeks? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th week in a row of art journaling and making sure I make a video of me doing it, which I am quite pleased about, I have to say. I hope you're enjoying this little series as well. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything else that you'd like to know about the artwork or the materials that I use or anything like that. So for this piece, you'll see at the very beginning I don't start with a blank page, because what I did is I got a whole bunch of quite dark collage papers and just kind of filled up the whole double page spread, because I knew I wanted it to be a kind of night sky kind of idea. And so I thought if I started with the collage pages that already were of a similar colour, that would make that easier to achieve. So that I didn't do that on camera. I did that before I started recording because collaging is somewhat dull to watch. And I just kind of ripped up the pages and spread them around, and then I stuck everything in place with my Mod Podge. After that, when I did start filming, was adding in the paints and the colours. And the first thing I added were 2 golden fluid acrylic paints. I've got the carbon black and the indigo, and it's called anthraquinone, which is a very unusual name. I'm not sure if I pronounced that exactly right, but I used those to start with, dribbled them all over, and then used a piece of kitchen roll that I'd dampened to just kind of mush them and smush them around. Then I filled in any gaps with my Neo art bars. These are very similar to the Neo Colour 2s. They don't make these anymore, Caran d'Ache. I used violet, cobalt and Prussian blue. They were the 2 colours that I used with those. And then I did a lot of splatter with my white acrylic ink. And that was it really for the background. That's what I did. And then I started to think about how to add in my angel. And I decided all of a sudden, I hadn't planned this out, but I decided that I would take one of my downloadable collage pages and draw my girl on there and then collage her in place on top of the background. Because it was quite dark, I thought it would make it a bit easier for her features to come out. So I'm quite pleased with how that turned out. I also added in my motto for this page in a very similar fashion. So I put a little bit of that collage paper in the background again just to help it stand out. And the words I've chosen for this week are fearless, free from fear and brave, and rise and shine, which I thought were quite apt. So that's what I did with those. The only other thing I really added to the background was I did kind of a border with my gelato. This is a black licorice one. I just kind of went around the edges to frame everything. And I also added in some little stars using my Stabilo All pencil in white, which I got a few weeks ago and was keen to try out. For the wings, I used these die cut butterfly wings that I got from Amazon. You get them in a little pack and they're really, really easy to cut out. You've only got little tiny bits to cut off. So you get a really nice finish with those. For the hair, I used a layer of watercolour crayons, so the Neocolor 2s to begin with. Then I used some of the Tombow marker, just in this kind of light brown colour. And then I added in 2 different gold colours. So I added in my golden iridescent gold and my Artiste Craft acrylic paint in metallic antique gold. So they're the colours and things that I use for the hair. And then for the skin tone, I used very much my usual combination. So I started with a layer of the Neo art bars in ochre, orange and sienna brown to add shading. I used my portrait pink acrylic paint as a kind of blender. I used 2 different Pitt pens got a warm grey and a medium flesh, again to add another layer of shading. And then the final layer with all the details is my Prismacolor pencils. So I'll go around the face and the eyes. I'll use the Prismacolor pencils for the lips, for the cheeks, all of those kinds of details. And I use my Uniball eye fine liner pen, again for details on the face. And I use my Jane Davenport paint over pen to add some highlights. And my Stabilo All pencil in black is great, and I've just realised that I haven't done this yet. It's great for going around after I've put in her aura or her energy around her. It's great for going around and redefining her outline, because the gelatos are quite sort of messy and it can be quite hard not to go over what you've done already with them. They're just kind of smudgy and very easy to sort of take over everything. But this Stabilo All pencil is brilliant because it literally, the clue is in the name, it will write on anything. It's really, really good. So I'm just adding that in there. I hadn't realised I hadn't done that yet. It just gives her a little bit more definition, makes her look a bit more finished. So that's that there, and I think, is that everything that I used for this one? I used some of my sparkly Jane Davenport marker pens. I think that's everything really that I used today. So lots and lots of collage, lots of watercolours, a little bit of acrylic paints as well, and lots of just fun and mess and playing with layers. So I hope you like the spread. I hope it gave you some inspiration to create some art of your own. And I hope that you enjoy watching this little angel come to life. If you like my artwork, you can have a look in my Etsy shop to see if there's anything there that might take your fancy. I'll put the link to that in the description box below the video. And I hope you enjoy, in the next part of the video, getting to see this lovely lady come to life. So thanks so much for being here. Bye bye.